Party.
Welcome to GSM Ministries Podcast. I'm Shad.
And I'm Ashton.
I'm Cooper.
And I'm Caleb.
And we're going to have some fun today.
Night.
Yeah,
Day,
whatever
night,
it is.
Day, night, evening.
I think.
Yeah, you don't know when we're recording.
Afternoon.
Anyway,
in the morning.
let's just talk briefly. Just get started with. I think we were saying just what our summers are. Who's doing what?
Yeah.
Then we're going to talk about Coop and how the fact he goes to Center Grove and
Boo.
Center Grove is
They're better at us.
Offering him to go to Cuba for science class.
they're just
What?
better at
Yes.
everything.
All right, let's start with you, big boy.
Alrighty. Well, again, I'm Ashton. And my
Big
summer
boy.
plans, what do mine look like?
Here, we get a big sandwich.
Stop it. That's copyright. My summer plans look kind of like, I have a few classes I have to work on. I have ASL that I'm doing, American Sign Language, and I have to try and get that done. Yeah, I see Coop's over there.
Holding it down.
We're going to be signing this whole time. You guys won't know at all what we're doing. I'm just kidding. But after that, we have, I just finished up a camp that I was working on. I was a camp counselor for a show choir camp, and it was pretty good. I had a good time. The kids had a lot of fun, and now I just have to get prepped for CDYC and then choir next year.
My summer seems to be like a lot of football. By probably July, I'll probably be going off to Australia or something like that.
Casual. Oh, I'll probably just casually go to Australia.
Doesn't even have to bike drop.
They're paying for the whole football team to go. Do you know that?
Is that actually really happening?
No,
Cooper.
no, but my family is though, not the football.
Not your football family.
Coop's
Yeah.
just ready to get away from that for a little bit.
Oh my god.
No more 2 days for Coop.
So why are you going to Australia?
Where am I going?
Why are you guys going?
Why?
Where are we going? Australia.
Did you say we're not going?
No, I said we're going.
It sounded like he goes, where are you going in Australia? It sounded like you meant we're not going.
We're not going. No, but why? We just haven't had a vacation in a long time.
And so your first choice. You know what, guys? Let's just go to. Where are you?
Oh, that's
going?
it.
I almost said Africa.
What's that supposed to mean?
We do not conduct racism or racial slurs. I promise.
I don't know, Mr. Hate Crime himself over here. Guys.
Anyway, so Coop's going to Australia and doing football.
Not Africa. Yeah.
So what's Shad doing?
I have started running cross country again, so every morning from about 5:30 some days or 5:50. I never wake up past 6 any mornings. It's very awful. I just go run a couple miles every day and just enjoy that again, and mainly just playing basketball or ultimate frisbee, just kind of hanging out, What about old Caleb?
Work. Work and then playing Ultimate. I think I'm currently playing Ultimate at least 4 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week. I'm not up to 6 yet.
That's a good life.
Yet. And then CDYC is coming up. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be on staff for CDYC. So I'll be up there Friday through the next Sunday.
Yeah.
Staff's a real party. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure staff has it even better than the students for CDYC.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, because you guys can do whatever you want.
I know, seriously, we just,
You have all the fun toys. You have the drones. Okay, well, let's kind of explain what CDYC is in case nobody knows what it is.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
go for it.
Well, CDYC is this big youth conference that is put on every year, and by
Central District.
By the Central Districts.
The CDYC is
Central District Youth Conference.
It's either conference or convention.
Something.
One of the two.
Whatever.
Yeah, and it's pronounced CDYC,
Convention.
not CDYC. Derry Prinkert. I remember him. that was our speaker last year. But pretty much you just go, and a lot of other central district churches go to this college campus, and it's been Calvin College for the past few years and back a long time ago. But yeah, you go there and you play games, hang out with other people from churches, listen to lessons, and build a closer relationship with God. It's a really good experience. My highlight of the year, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. Definitely, there's a lot of sports and music and different ways you can connect with people, and I think it's just I always have a good time. Lots of free food. It's really good.
That is also true. The food
like those
is
sriracha
pretty
burgers
decent.
we made last year.
I missed out on this. I'm
also
pretty
missed
disappointed.
out on this.
I ate them
Me
with
too.
you.
Wait. Oh yeah, now I remember what you're talking about.
I
I
missed
was
out
like,
on
you're the one that
this.
told me to eat them.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. It's CDYC. It just like turns into this blur in the best way possible. It turns into a blur.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so
yeah, I think for me it turns into even more of a blur because for me it's.
You've been going forever.
This will be my 10th year, I think. Like second year on staff, 10th year
That's
in
being
total.
a veteran right there.
So, anyway, so for CDYC this year, one of the things we were talking about that we sort of know something about, but we don't know a whole lot about, is evidently there are definitely some changes this year. Like, one thing some people were definitely sort of sad about, I think Ashton specifically and Shad, was volleyball is evidently only going to be one day. It was 2 days last year. Oh, the entire length of camp, if people don't know, for senior high runs from like a Wednesday to a Sunday. And it used to be volleyball was like, what,
2 days.
Friday and Saturday?
yeah, like Friday, Saturday.
Evidently, that's getting cut down. Anyway, we're gonna give Nate Patterson a call here. Shad's gonna go and give him a call, see if we can get him on the phone. Nate's a youth pastor here at Grace, but he is also on the CDYC planning committee, so he's pretty familiar with everything that's going on there. So
for all you who don't know that, he's in charge.
How's it going, Nate?
Hey, I'm good, Shad. How are you tonight?
Good, how about you?
Yes, sir. How's the podcast going?
It's actually pretty good. You're actually on it right now. It's live.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hello, everybody. Podcast land.
It is me, Caleb, Ashton, and Cooper.
And Morgan Freeman. Say
And
hello,
Morgan
Morgan.
Oh, wow. Cool. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, we were just we were telling everybody a little bit about CDYC this year, and we know there's a lot of changes and stuff coming up, and we wanted to see if you would be able to tell us about some of those changes and like what all is going to be happening.
Kind of give us a inside-ish.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think what we're trying to do is, we're trying to make CDYC more user-friendly. You know, back in the day, CDYC was something that people, spent a lot of time preparing for, and, it was almost like a competition kind of thing. And that was not just something that CDYC did. It was something that almost every youth conference did. And we just know that things are different now. And people are not going to take the time to, do all the preparation and stuff like that. And maybe that's not even the point anyway. Maybe the point is to be able to do some of those things, but, just to do them. And so, once again, it's more of a CDYC's Got Talent is back. That's different than, maybe in the past where it looked more like GSMA or something that you would do through the schools with, judges and judges' sheets and that kind of stuff. It's less of that kind of thing. So we're continuing to do that kind of thing. I'd say the biggest change this year, though, is in regards to sport. We've intentionally tried to do some things. And I would have never known this, to be honest with you. Our group loves volleyball, but there are some groups that don't. And so what we were finding was, on those 2 days where we're having a great time playing volleyball, there are churches that are kind of bored. And so we've taken out a day of volleyball and made the tournament, I think, single elimination. So double elimination, there's less round robin. So for those who really love volleyball, you're still going to get volleyball. But for those who don't, we're going to have a whole other day where we're going to do some things that we've never attempted before at CDYC. So I see for example, we'll play kickball, but we are playing 4 games of kickball on one field at the same time, and all of the outfields kind of like mash into each other. So just experiments of what if we tried this crazy thing and seeing what would happen with that.
Ultimate watermelon coming back?
We're going to do something called Ultimate Cantaloupe.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know we've kind of done something like that at the church with GSM, but this is going to be all of CDYC. And we're ordering, like, pallets upon pallets of cantaloupes to play this game. And if that's going on, we're going to do dodgeball. We're doing dodgeball on this giant slip and slide tarp.
Wow.
And so, you know, those are things that we've never done. And my hope is that, you know, even if you really love volleyball, you're going to come out of that and say, I still really love volleyball, but this was good too. So, and then I can say, and I'll be a little bit cryptic about it, the last night of CDYC, we are working on a plan for all of campus that's going to be really good. It'll be at 11:30 on the last night of CDYC before we go home for senior high. And it is inspired by the guys of Grace Student Ministries. I'll just say that.
Oh. So is it going to be like, I know you can't really give us much because you want it to be a surprise for just for everybody, but is it going to be kind of like it was for last year and where we all went out towards the end, or is it more of an activity based?
Well, we will go to a location, and there will be kind of one gathering. So what we did last year, it was groups going at their own time. This is going to be all of camp together in one place. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So, any final thoughts on what CDYC is going to be like this year?
What else would I tell you about CDYC? I would say just to go into CDYC. I'll tell you what, personally, I'm going into CDYC with less of an agenda than I've ever had. You know, usually I think, man, I really want to see this happen, or I want to see that happen. And I think more than anything, what I want to see happen is, my agenda is that God would just have His agenda with students and with me and with our adults, and that my prayer is just that we will just be up for whatever that God wants to do, and that He will, just clearly do some things in our lives, and we'll have those conversations with each other, and we'll pray for each other, and we'll be changed, but we're just going to be open and just expectant that we're going to have a great time, but we're also going knowing and just really being hopeful that God's going to just challenge us and encourage us and just meet us, I guess, is the big thing. I want that for all of you guys. I want that for every student, and that God just knows. He knows what we need more than even what we know to ask Him. So that's what I would say about CDYC.
Nice. And I have one last question, kind of a goofy question for you, Nate.
I like goofy questions.
Will the campus be shared again this year?
Are we going to see any more hate crime?
No. Is the campus going to be shared at all, or will it just solely be CDYC?
No, it will definitely be shared. I know that there's some soccer camps going on.
Oh, really?
There are usually some swimming camps going on. I don't know if there's a particular leadership development camp that you're so fond of.
But what? I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. It was just, a random question that I pulled from, who knows where.
Yeah. No, Calvin is a big enough place, and it's a nice enough place that. So the good thing about that is that we get to be in a really nice place.
Gotcha.
The bad thing about that is that we have to share that. And so I don't think that it's the kind of thing where it's so noticeable. I mean, in Indiana Wesleyan,
Oh,
kind
right.
of the same deal. But it was just very noticeable when you were sharing, with other groups. Calvin, it doesn't seem to be a problem because most of those camps are not using the dining hall; they're just using facilities.
Right.
So it's not as big of a deal.
Okay.
Yeah, well, thanks for letting us call you and take up some of your time.
Yeah. Thank you, Nate.
Oh, and let me just plug this too, because I don't know if you guys have talked about this or not. But Caleb, have you talked to these guys about the CDYC T-shirt?
Mention it
We've
briefly.
done something new with the CDYC T-shirt that's never been done before, and Caleb has been working on that, and I'm pretty excited about that actually.
Yeah, how about you go ahead and tell us what's this about a website that we've been hearing some talks of?
Well, so we've been talking about NoMoCo, just this idea of Northern Morgan County, sort of like our group, our label for this mismatch of people and areas. So this year for our CDYC T-shirt, we have NoMoCo on it, but so that we don't have to spend the entire time explaining it every single time someone asks, and for those who forget and still own a T-shirt, shame on you in the first place. But in the second place, now we're going to actually have a website linked to on the back of the T-shirts, NoMoCo, NoMoCo, I think, yeah, .us, NoMoCo.us on the back. And it's just a really simple website. It basically just explains what NoMoCo is about, where it comes from and what it means. And it also has a guest appearance by a certain Andrew Carter explaining what NoMoCo is, but I'll leave that for you to discover on your own.
Yeah, so that's just my hope. I'm just thinking, like where we live is kind of like a collision of worlds, and that's exactly our group too. We are a collision of people, and that can be a challenge, but it can also be an opportunity. And that would be, when we go away for a time like this, my hope would be that you would find yourself connecting with people that maybe you see every Sunday night. But maybe you never take the time to talk to them, and maybe you will, or maybe you'll be challenged to do that because we're better together. The whole is better than the individual parts combined. When you mix everything up, it's just, it's something that's really cool. And there's a little bit of a patriotic theme to this too, just because there's enough of a little bit of rebellious streak in me to say, we can do the right thing the right way, and we're going to do that. And I know. I just want to be real clear about that.
Okay.
I'm not for doing things the wrong way, but I absolutely will do the right things the right way. And if that steps on somebody's toes, okay, I'll get you some ice for your toes, but I'm not going to take the shirt off. So, I think I want you guys to be proud of the shirt and proud of what it represents. And if that causes a few feathers to be ruffled, I guess we're going to live with it. So it's a little bit. We're a little bit on the edge, but I'm comfortable with that. So.
It sounds like you're pulling from somewhere there, Nate.
Yeah, there are. I'm pulling from somewhere. Just say, it's an election year, if nothing else.
It's
so
just the vibe I got
stars
off
and
you.
stripes. It's very patriotic. And,
Okay.
So anyway, that's all that needs to be said about that, I think.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing the insight and some laughs with us. It's been good having you on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Nate.
Hey, guys, thanks for calling me. This is great. And I will try to get in there and join you guys next time we do this, all right?
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Catch you later.
All right. Peace, guys.
Deuces.
See ya.
Right at 12 minutes.
So, CDYC, sounding, you already knew it was going to be awesome at CDYC. I've 10 years now, never had a bad CDYC. There are people who, on the CDYC staff, who have literally been doing this for like 30 or 40 years and love it.
Sure.
CDYC is just highlight of the summer, and I think fairly said highlight of the year personally.
I agree.
So, and I guess I'll just wrap that up with saying, it's not just, and it's highlight of the year because, we have a lot of fun, but there's a lot of amazing opportunities to learn and take things home from CDYC that if you let them can really, really change your life. God can really get a hold of your life if you let him at CDYC. So I guess that would be my final closing thought, just sort of what Nate was saying there, that for CDYC, the hope and prayer is that we can just leave it open for God to do what he needs to do, and that everyone who's going to CDYC will be open to what God has for them. So I guess that's my prayer. I think that's Nate's prayer as well, just that whoever's going to CDYC, that God can really speak to them through it. So any other last closing thoughts on CDYC?
I was thinking, we've been talking about CDYC and sports and all this stuff. We got a state champ in our presence over here, the old Coop. How about you tell us about your 2015 state championship that just went down?
Yeah, it was a very long seasonings.
Seasoned the competition, we ate them.
Yeah, it was my first year there. And I was very, very nervous, and apparently everyone, when I got there, was talking about that we might go pretty far, and I mean, I thought we could, but, and then when I first put on the jersey, I could feel the state champ in the reach.
You felt the power.
And then sort of just played it out, and we had very, very good seniors. We had very much a veteran team, so I think that was mostly the reason why we won so much. And and also a lot of the other teams, like the junior varsity and freshmen, were undefeated, so it gives a show that it's gonna be continuous, the winning.
Nice. So what was better, the feeling of winning or the fact that you get this big old ring to carry around for the rest of your life?
Ring that's almost as big as my head.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't much in your head in the first place, Ashton.
Very true.
Yeah, I like the winning, because each individual winnings had this. Okay, it had this special accomplishment.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess the last thing I'll throw out here for anyone not
Aware is that this wasn't just like state for like division 6 or something. This is
It's division 6A, and that's the
top.
top.
not the tiny schools. This is like the big, the top, the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop.
We had to. You said it.
Okay, so quick shout out to our next topic, smooth transition here, but pro sports.
Pro sports, man.
Boo.
NBA.
Sports.
Evidently there's like some finals going on right now or something.
There is actually currently going on right now, Warriors versus Cavs. This season's been pretty crazy because you had a lot of teams that scored really highly and a lot of like undefeated. And
Of course.
Yeah, the Warriors break the Bulls record of 72-10. They went 73-9.
That's a big record.
Why do we even have Ashton's mic on right now?
I don't know. He doesn't talk sports much.
Hey, Michael Jordan's going to do real good this season, guys.
Dude, he retired like
400 years ago.
a long time ago.
I'm just kidding.
But-
Kobe's got it. No, wait, he retired too, didn't he?
Yeah, he just retired. He just,
Kobe, no, come
he missed it by a year.
Oh, yeah, he stomped that last game, though.
Yeah,
I did
60
hear
points.
that.
Yeah.
He was pretty good.
Silver
Oh,
Fox.
dude,
got it.
the one thing I know about sports right there, folks.
Well, it's just a lot been going on. I mean, it's been a pretty good season in NBA. The Warriors came back from the 3-1 deficit against the Thunder. Talks of Kevin Durant leaving there and going somewhere else, but
He's good, right?
yeah, pretty good.
What team does he play? In case our viewers don't know.
Yeah, Oklahoma City
Yeah,
Thunder.
the
Thunder. Yeah.
Thunder. I said freighter.
The Freighter.
You should turn
Then,
me off. Oh my gosh.
You got
No,
the
don't do it.
NFL draft that just happened recently. Which tell us about some of that, Caleb.
Oh yeah, big trades there. That was pretty crazy.
Rams first pick.
Oh yeah, Rams trying to hit it big because new franchise, new city, and I have no idea how their coaching staff is still around. Fisher, after like going 8-8 every single year for like forever.
What does this
But-
mean?
Yeah.
8-80, 1-8, lost 8.
Well, I mean, wait.
Even though
So this is a new franchise, so it's like a new team?
No, not
it's
new.
it's the Rams, but they've moved from St. Louis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
moved from
They moved
St. Louis.
St. Louis
So
out to California.
Oh.
So they're
So it's the same team. So it's like what happened to the Colts, because the Colts were originally
Yeah,
like
the
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
concept.
Oh.
So
Okay.
yeah, they moved out there, but the big thing was they traded up in the draft. They traded a whole bunch of picks to move up to the number 1 spot to draft. Oh crap! Who did they draft?
Jared
Goff.
Jared Goff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goff.
And then right behind them, in the number 2 spot, the Eagles traded up to get Carson Wentz.
Wentz.
Anyway, it's just really interesting, big blockbuster trades. And then this is a great segue into Ashton's next topic he wants to talk about was
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
defensive end
Yes.
from
I know
Ohio.
this is.
Wait, what's his name? Boza?
Yeah.
Yeah, Boza from
Boza.
Ohio on like draft day, like during the actual freaking draft itself.
Oh, no, don't.
His Twitter account posts a picture of him.
Oh,
no, not a
my.
picture, a
The
video of him.
Don't do
It what appears to be smoking weed.
Through a gas mask.
So like literally, the draft starts, and like the first 2 quarterbacks get taken, and like this.
This dude's projected to go like top
No,
5.
yeah.
Like,
Serious like top level talent.
And he's smoking weed.
but so the coaches had like the notification.
No, it
for
wasn't
his Twitter or
Bosa. Who
something.
was it who dropped?
No, I was say Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
It wasn't him. No, he's.
No, Bosa was the defensive end. This was
Yeah.
the tackle.
Yeah, but
He went to Miami. What was
yeah,
his
the
name?
coach looks at his Twitter because it gave him the notification. He just posted something, and there's this video of this dude smoking marijuana through a gas mask on there. And so he just drops, like instantly just shoot out, boom, all the way down to like, what?
Tunsil, that's who it was.
Yeah.
Laramie Tunsil.
What did he end up?
He fell to the Dolphins at pick. I don't know. He was going to be like for hands down like the first defensive lineman off the board.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that.
Yeah, like.
And he threw
Well, that
it
doesn't make any
all
sense,
the way.
though, because, I mean, he was projected to be, like, in the top 5, correct?
He was
Yeah.
projected to be.
Projected to be. But just because he was smoking weed, which, understandable, I mean, it's
Well, because
like...
they don't want to have that problem with the
Yeah.
team. Like, they don't want it to carry out
There's been
through the
problems.
season.
Okay.
Like,
Well, because the question is more. So
like how that would hinder his performance.
okay, so someone made the comment somewhere that like some GM or someone made the comment that they know a lot of their players or like prospective players smoke weed. The question is not as much like if they smoke weed, but can you handle the publicity? Can you handle being in the spotlight? And if for
Okay.
some reason your Twitter account is during the NFL draft posting a video of you doing something illegal, that's like the opposite of what a team wants from their players.
I can see that. But I can also see, because seeing as though, like, you said the Dolphins picked this dude
Yeah,
up?
pick number 13.
Okay. So, well, the 13th pick?
Yeah, so he dropped,
It's
but
not dropped, like, too far. But
well, in perspective,
In
it's a
perspective.
huge drop.
Oh,
like
okay.
he was,
He gets paid less.
yeah.
Oh, so he gets paid less,
Oh,
but...
a lot.
Okay. But in a sense, though, it could come back and bite those teams. Right?
Yeah, sort of. That passed on him, sort of, if he turns out to be an all-pro prospect. But
Yes.
in fairness, who was the second? Who was the first tackle off the board? Conklin, I think.
yeah.
Anyway, I don't honestly follow the draft close enough to be truly informed.
Oh, I do.
I
On
mean,
this.
Thomas Ranger in here for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Thomas will be like, Colts, 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 Colts. That's right. Shout out to you, Mr. T Range,
Yeah, we'll have to do that for a future
and your
one.
9,000 siblings.
So I guess we'll just stop talking about sports now that we've established how much we don't know
So
about
speaking of
professional
marijuana,
Speaking of marijuana
and
and
smoking out of gas
smoking and
masks.
whatnot, somewhat different, which in my opinion, it's all the same to me. Our next topic is vaping. Oh
Oh, there
boy.
goes our viewers, man. They just went all the way up to like 9,000.
Yeah.
Over
Hashtag
9,000.
vape, hashtag
Vape life.
vape life, hashtag vape for vape. But so the question has come up, why is vaping cool? First of all, I have a few questions about it. Like, why is vaping like considered so cool? Just because it's like so addictive, I guess.
I think it's because it's not really dangerous as much as cigarettes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there's definitely a large percentage of the people who will look at it and say that because like cigarettes, there's like a 1-to-1 correlation between cigarettes and lung cancer. So then people are pointing out that vaping isn't as bad for you as lung cancer. However, on the other hand, vaping really hasn't been well regulated or studied yet. So it's definitely not as bad as like cigarettes are for you.
Very
However,
true.
there are definitely some studies that are showing it's definitely not good for you either. It's better than smoking, but it's not actually like healthy for your body or necessarily.
and I mean, like, a lot of people, a lot of vaping defendees, a lot of vapors, obviously, they would...
Since you do their vapors.
Stop. But I've talked to a few different people, and, you know, vape, it has... whoa, you bleep that, please. You're going to have to bleep that. Well, anyways, I heard that. But, like, they have different juices and whatnot, right? And these juices, like, you know, that creates the type of vapor that you'll, like, kind of taste, I guess. I don't know. Whatever, taste, sniff, whiff, whatever it is.
Yeah, so how vaping works is e-cigarettes and all that stuff. Basically, all it does is literally just takes whatever this juice liquid is, heats it up so it turns into water vapor. And because it has whatever these flavorings are in there, at the end of the day, vaping is basically just water vapor with something added to it. The something can be interesting flavorings. Someone said something about pizza, which just like, ugh.
It's a thing.
But yeah, you can basically put whatever flavorings you want. And it can be used to like put. You can do like THC, weed, marijuana, the active components of marijuana,
like nicotine.
Yeah, that's not related to marijuana.
Well,
but
no. I mean, but I know what you mean, though.
So like you can put. Some people put nicotine in it as an alternative to smoking to wean yourself off of the cigarette addiction. So that's a positive use for it. But yeah, that's the basic premise of what vaping is.
And a lot of people defend vaping. And I mean, real quick, my honest opinion on vaping. I myself will never vape or be caught vaping, you know, at all, just because I think it's really dumb. And in my opinion, from what I've seen, it is actually pretty dangerous. And I mean, you know, it's kind of like cigarettes, so it's like an addictive thing. And so, like, back to what I was saying, like, how it could be dangerous for you, like, how could it be dangerous for you is what some people have asked. And I've seen people who, again, rare cases, who have had, like, their mouths blown out because they did something weird with their vape pens or whatever.
Yeah, I guess where personally I'm at with vaping is the first comment I would make is it's not a fully studied thing. Like, there haven't been a lot of true rigorous scientific studies on it, and we don't necessarily know the long-term effects. However, from what we know of basic science, it's definitely not as bad for you as actual, like, cigarette smoking, for sure. And, like, there aren't any, like, major catastrophic known things. I think the other piece of vaping that comes into play here, though, that ties into all that, is it's not really regulated at this point. There aren't, like, FDA rules and stuff like that about it. So because of that, it's, like, wide open for especially high school students. And it's seen as just sort of a fun thing that doesn't really have any dangers to it, like you were saying. And so, like, from a scientific standpoint, from my understanding, there aren't any, like, huge dangers of vaping, but at the same time, it's not good for you. I guess It's sort of comparable to saying, I don't know if it's as bad as alcohol necessarily is for your body, but it's definitely not a good thing for your body.
Right.
Is my understanding. Coop?
Well, I think the reason why, I mean, I don't really do that stuff. I mean, some people that have gone down because of drugs started with something, then they sort of just go to the next level because, you know.
Yeah. So, like, vaping for some people could be like a stepping stone to these other things.
Yeah,
like that,
doing,
or alcohol, or other drugs.
Other harder drugs.
Shad, what do you have to say? Shad is not paying attention.
Flirting
Sorry.
with his girlfriend on his phone.
Actually, no.
It's actually not, believe it or not.
It's the cross country
Dusty.
team wants me to come do a relay tomorrow.
Tell them no.
That's
We
an
do
extra
not-
5 miles, but
We do not condone cross-country running. at
I
all.
think vaping overall is just kind of stupid.
I got it. I think that's the biggest takeaway we're taking from it.
I just find it kind of pointless. Like, oh well, it's just kind of a waste of time. But
And plus, you look really dumb.
Actually, the one last thing I'll sort of chime in here that was recently occurring to me is that does sort of bug me about vaping. And cigarette smoking for me falls into the same category. But the thing that bugs me about it is when people don't seem to realize that it's sort of like cigarette secondhand smoke. Just because you're in the area with someone doing it, you're still going to be ingesting it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when you think about it for like vaping, it's like almost even worse because it's like, literally like going to be vaporizing the spit and crap in their mouth, and then they're breathing it out.
Oh, goodness. Thanks for that, Caleb.
You're welcome. I try.
I hang out with a lot of people.
So that would actually be my biggest complaint about vaping is that I think a lot of the people who do it don't seem to realize that there's the secondhand aspect to it as well, which to me is incredibly frustrating with like cigarette smoking and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's sort of just a waste of money.
And yeah, that too. It's also like, I mean, I don't know how expensive it is, but I mean, I know the pens, like the devices to do it, like those aren't cheap.
I guess for me, the one last thing where I fall with it on, as far as like, is it right or wrong to do?
That's the question.
Is like sort of the Christian standpoint. There are a couple of different verses that I think can come into play here. Paul writes in a number of different places in the New Testament that your body is to be a temple to the Holy Spirit, that you should be treating your body well, and making it a living sacrifice to God. So not pursuing your own pleasures. However, the other sort of half of this argument from the Christian New Testament standpoint is Paul also spends a lot of time writing about, so the Jewish church, where it was originally founded, had certain laws about animals that are clean and unclean to eat, and you can't eat certain types of meat. So Paul, for a long time, has a lot of writing, and then, okay, so it has all those acts. The first Christian church, which was largely Jewish, because guess what? That's where Jesus was a Jew. He's preaching to the Jews. The first Christian church, by and large, held to these rules. In Acts, there's a big thing. What is it? I think it's like Acts 11 or something. No, it's not 11. I think it's 9. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
I think it's 45.
There's no Acts 45.
Shh, Mr. Smarty.
Anyway.
For those of you who don't know it, Caleb is actually a very well-versed quoter. And
Actually, never did quoting in Bible quizzing.
Never quoted? Really?
I did it like on the side.
little
The only reason I did quoting was so that I could go out first 5 and first 3.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, Caleb was in Bible quizzing when he was in youth group.
Yes.
And he was really good at it because he studied really hard. And
sometimes.
plus he enjoyed it.
When I actually say, sorry, I was going on a tangent here, but my biggest claim to fame in quizzing that I'm extremely proud of was in quizzing you get 5 questions right and you're done, you get 3 questions wrong and you're done. In back-to-back quizzes, I went out first 5 questions right in a row. Next quiz, I went out first 3 wrong. I'm very proud of that fact for some stupid reason. Okay, sorry, tangents.
Continue. Sorry.
Anyway, where I was going, so God gives Peter a dream. He sees a sheep being let down from heaven with all sorts of unclean animals. God says, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat," which is like my favorite verse ever in the Bible. It's literally like in the Bible, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat." And basically just says there's no more clean or unclean, Jew or Gentile, circumcised, uncircumcised, all one. And where I'm going with all this is, so Paul, when he's writing to the church, it's a big problem with, they've now made the rule that it's not clean or unclean, that if you're eating the unclean meat, you aren't sinning. However, Paul later writes and clarifies and says that if by doing something that isn't a sin for you is going to cause someone else to sin, that's a bad thing. And that sounds sort of generic, but basically where that's coming from is basically Paul is saying don't cause anyone to stumble. So by your actions, don't set a bad example. I really should look up the exact verses for this, but I guess sort of what it comes down to is, especially with something like vaping, even if at the end of the day, you can, for me at least, this is where I end up with it, is you can, if for you it passes the test of this is not violating my body, this is not making my body less than a temple to God, this is not making my body less than a sacrifice, living sacrifice. You also sort of have the question for what example are you setting to others by doing this? And the unfortunate part of vaping, well, I guess just part of vaping, is there's definitely certain stigmas attached to it. And I think you can be setting a bad example by doing it. So,
Very true.
Yeah.
Long rant. I think we'll
That's good.
probably wrap up with that. That's
Oh, come on.
okay. What else did you have, Ashton?
We should wrap it up with I don't know, with like a story or something. A funny story.
And now story time with Morgan Freeman and Barack Obama.
Hello, I'm Freeman. A story. When I was a near lad, backing down the old Mississippi River, me and my buddies would play with the tugboats.
Thank you, Morgan Freeman. Now, can you hand it off to Mr. President Obama?
Hello. I'm President Barack Obama. One of the stories I have is back when I was living in Africa.
Back in Africa. I thought you were going to Australia. I mean,
right.
Mr. Obama.
Well, how about we hand this one off over to Kronk?
Yes, girl. Squeaker, squeaker, squeak.
I can't do it, guys.
Yeah, I think we may just have to wrap it up here.
Hold on. I can get a story. Here, start.
It's a Monday.
Say,
It was a cold, dark night.
someone start talking. I have a story. Someone say something to give me a sec to pull
I
it
got
together.
a story.
I feel like just hitting stop as soon as Ashton
Please.
starts talking.
Don't
He's
do
like,
that.
there's this one time.
I do have.
Hey,
Can we?
You wanna see
Pork
my
rides.
pork rinds.
Oh,
That's
pork
it,
rind
edit,
story. That's
edit.
it. No, pork rind story. Here we come. Okay, so a little insider with some CDYC shenanigans. Which, by the way, before I start this story and then we wrap up the episode, I'd just like to say we will also be putting out another episode. Recording another episode
Podcast
at
Just kidding, that's copyright. Don't listen to me.
We'll actually be putting out another episode at CDYC. So when we're out there, we will be recording and probably talking a lot about it, the lessons that we had gotten, whatever. So just letting you people know in case for further, I don't know, like further, whatever. But anyways, the pork rind story. So last year, in the dorm rooms, because all the students stay in the dorm rooms, the bathrooms are split so that the next door neighbors use that same bathroom. You know, safe space, whatever you like to call that, or being lazy. But anyways, Shad and myself were in the same room together.
Bad ideas, first of all.
Very bad ideas, but we've done it every year, and we're not dead yet. And
Almost.
our next door neighbors were Cooper and Dan, right?
Daniel, yeah.
Yeah, Dan was there.
It's Daniel.
And
Dan.
so, Dan, I don't even think Dan was... No, Dan was in the room with you, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he was.
So Dan was in the room with Cooper, in their room, and Shad and I, and I think Drew was with us.
Yeah, I think this was the precursor to the Civil War.
No.
Oh,
This
snap.
was
No, I
like...
think it was the night. It was the nights leading up to it. It was like a precursor for it.
No, it was during the day. I'm pretty sure. Well, anyways, whatever time it was, Shad and I are sitting in our room with somebody else, and all of a sudden we just hear we hear Cooper. He just starts like dying. He's like, and we're like, Cooper, what And we run in, we're like, Coop, are you all right? And all of a sudden, you just see Coop, and he looks at us, just like,
pork rinds.
And we lost it. He's just choking on these pork rinds. And Cooper, would you like to explain a little about that?
Well, when I was eating them, this is probably maybe the first time I've ever ate pork rinds. So I was sort of doing a little quick, and then all of a sudden they got stuck in my throat a little bit. So I was trying to cough it out, and then all of a sudden it started to tumble.
The choking.
Yeah, it started choking, then I was like, pork rinds.
And from that moment on, we kind of just say it all the time because it's kind of fantastic.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and sign off. I'm Caleb. This has been fun.
And I'm Ashton.
Cooper.
And I'm Shad, and this has been the GSM Ministries podcast.
Pork rinds.